Hey everybody, it's Cameron.
And Stephanie.
And on today's episode of Coffee Talk, we're going to talk about who's the boss at your house.
I'm the boss.
Right, but we know I'm the boss.
No, really, I'm the boss.
Yeah, but I wear the pants.
I'm the boss.
We'll let her think that. Alright guys, so today we wanted to talk about who's the boss at your house. And I know at first it sounds really controversial and sounds like we're about to have some really bumping head conversation here, especially with our two strong personalities. But we thought this was a really important topic for couples when you're coming together as one. Is you were the boss of your own world over here, and this person was the boss of their own world over here. Yes, especially this one here. And something that I think causes a lot of problems in relationships is finding out how do you work as being a boss together, and
what's your roles?
Yes, what's your role? So instead of one of you being the boss and the other one being submissive to that, if that works for you, that's perfectly fine. Some people are more just, okay, I just want to follow and I'm fine with them being the boss. But there's times where we found it's better to do more of like a give and take. So we don't have in our household, I'm the boss, I wear the pants because I'm the man. Or she's the boss because she's older. It's more of what are you the boss of, and I'm okay with that because I understand that's what you're good at. And
helps us work well together.
Yes, work well together.
And be a team.
Yeah, exactly. Whether you're coming together as your own individual person or in our scenario, we came from, I had already had children in my household that I was the boss of. And these are my rules. And
same with me.
yeah, exactly. These are Cameron's rules and how they go. And then at her household, she has kids.
Blending rules.
Yeah, blending rules. But what made that easiest is figuring out, okay, I'm gonna let you be the boss of this and I'm the boss of that. So the first way we wanted to kind of touch on that was running households, because this is something everyone can relate to. And so some of the things, like what would you say you feel this is the way, I'm the boss of this part, and so, I had to let go of that.
I would say decorating the house. Like picking up the decor and the paint colors. I feel like I'm a little better at that. I do sometimes try to ask your help on things, and you tell me what you don't like.
And I think it's more when she does decor, it's more of like everything to do with the house appearance, whether it's the furniture or when we have guests over, anything like that. I kind of let her take charge of how she wants things to look and let that go. Yes, I absolutely have opinions on it, but this is how.
Help when I need it.
Yeah, I try to be a good support. So that's the thing. Someone else being the boss, but you also being a good support. And because we have these roles identified, and I know this is something I'm okay with letting go, when it comes to a conflict of what are we gonna do, I ultimately decide to let her be the boss of that because that's what we've agreed upon.
But if you don't like something, you do tell me.
Right, yeah.
And I do
definitely expressing it because, same as at work, a good boss will hear out the people that are under them, and that's what we do. But when it comes down to that, we know that it's ultimately going to be her decision for that. But I would say something with running our household that more of I'm the boss of is when it comes time to cooking, cleaning, getting the kids schoolwork. There are times when maybe she knows she wants to say something about it or she has some opinion about it. It's like, hey, I know this is what Cameron's best at. I'm gonna let him kind of run the roost with that.
I love when you cook. It's amazing.
Right, yeah,
but
exactly.
I will also clean up while you cook, so.
Yes, this is very, again, supporting how she has an idea of if we're having people over or there's something that we're doing at the house, I may support her in whatever needs to be done. And if I'm cooking or if I'm doing homework stuff with the kids, maybe she does step up and do something else because she knows I'm doing that. She's gonna support and help me out as she can.
Yes.
So again, it's like a give and take thing with every relationship, but the big thing.
And the homework also is a routine. Like the kids know, bring their backpacks in here.
Right.
Like one of us is gonna sit with them.
Yeah.
I'd rather it be you because you're better at that.
Yeah, I have more patience.
Yeah. I'm more of like on top of the girls with stuff for the most part.
Yeah.
Got the boys under control.
And that leads into the next thing. I know our situation is not everyone's, but it is more and more common these days, of blended families. There's a very common thing these days of some people to be into a relationship where one or both of them already have children. And that's something, again, where we had to sit down and talk about and figure out who's gonna be the boss of what area and how we're gonna do this. So I am very comfortable with boys because I had 2 boys and she had 1 boy. So it's more easy for me to just treat them all the same and be disciplinary with the boys. Whereas with the girls, that's definitely out of my area of expertise.
We have lots of emotions. You know, I am used to this. I know how to handle it. He does not know how to handle that.
No. So when it comes to a decision making with the girls, for instance, one of them was sick the other day, and she messaged me about, hey, should I, they're not feeling well, should we let her stay home? My instinct is, no, they can go to school. And her response was, I could tell she was leaving it open, but I could tell she wanted to be more sympathetic to it, so I let it go.
Once a month type of thing, it happens. I'm understanding. He's not.
Yeah, so I'm more like, if you don't need to go to the hospital, then you're probably fine. You can walk it off. So again, it's knowing I wanted to push, but I didn't. That's her area. That's what she's the boss of. And same with the boys. There are some times where maybe she doesn't completely agree with how I handle it, but we've agreed that's what I handle. So
I'm more like, they're sweet boys. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, and also, playing the whole good cop, bad cop thing with children, that also comes in all the time. And this also can overflow into work, or I know not everyone works together like we do, but you still have some aspects of running a household that are like a business. Whether it's finances, that's a huge one. We don't even have to get into us working. We can talk about the finances aspect of things, because that's where you need to be on the same page of who's going to be the boss with that, or how are you going to determine. Maybe it's something that you share doing, but finances, money, that's the number one thing that
but it is hard for 2 people to be in charge of finances. Like, I usually give him the torch on that. He has an Excel sheet and a breakdown for everything.
Yes. So
I don't care as much. Like, I know we're making good money. I know he gives an account. We can pay our bills. We can still have fun. He likes to know where every penny's going, what's going on.
It's regardless of the good money thing or what your income is. That's irrelevant. You should have a plan. And
see how whichever one about it.
Yes, because this is what prevents arguments. Because we can always defer to, hey, this is what we were going to do. You said it's okay for me to make the decision on this. And then again, she may still be mad at me about it, but it was what we agreed upon. So it's what you kind of defer back to that. It's the agreement of the partnership or the team that you're doing there is, what are your roles? It's the same as being in sports. You have your role. You're not trying to take on every single role, and you shouldn't, because you're not great at every single role. I'm not great at every single role. And
you're great at everything.
Yes, I know, mostly. But yeah, even with our business. So for us working together, we know, I know like what she is supposed to be the boss of, and she knows what reluctantly she wants to let me be the boss of, which is, again, coming together as one. So for instance, when it comes to doing stuff with like social media or marketing, sometimes she wants to do something and I may be more reserved about it because I'm more of a square, and she wants to push the envelope, and I just kind of have to take a step back and like, all right.
I'm more creative. I just want to put myself out there.
Creative is what we'll say, yes.
It is creative,
edgy.
Yes.
And so
he's so worried sometimes what people think. I don't.
Right, so that's what I know. Okay, she's the boss of that. Ultimately, she's gonna get the final say, and that's where we
I'll just post it and then.
Or she'll just post it and it's too late, it's already out there. So, but when it comes to like back office stuff, or it comes to some sort of a business decision behind the scenes, it's whether it's crunching numbers or like, hey, I think we should spend money on this, or I think we need to hire this person to do this. A lot of times she just relies on me, and she may want to know more, and of course we keep each other in the loop on everything, but it's ultimately like, hey, you're the boss of this, it's your decision to do. If we have to spend money on that, or if I need to start doing this process, you're the boss of it, so we're gonna let it go.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think the biggest takeaway is it doesn't matter whether we're talking about running your household or kids or work or finances, whatever it is, I know we started off with the catchy, who's the boss at your house? In our house, we're each the boss of different things. And we each know what our strengths and weaknesses are and how that's gonna make us come together best as a team, a partnership, whatever you wanna call it, a relationship, but that's ultimately what it is. It's a partnership.
Yeah.
So having the discussion is the one thing. I think couples come together and they don't have this open talk, and sometimes it may be uncomfortable and it's gonna cause some disagreements and possibly escalate to arguments. Yeah, it's okay, but you get it out of the way now, and then it makes everything, again, if it makes for an uncomfortable week or two, but that is going to help you not become the next statistic of relationships that don't work out, or just be living life in a miserable relationship because one of you wants to be the boss and the other one is resentful of it, and you don't find that good way to balance it. So who's the boss at your household? That's up for you to decide. At our household, yes, one of us thinks they're the boss more than the other, but the reason we make it work is because we let down our guards, let down our egos, tear down those walls and say, hey, I'm willing to let you be the boss of some things, but I want to be the boss of some things too. And it just makes for a happier relationship.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so we will talk to you guys in the next video, but who's your boss? Sit down, talk about it, have that uncomfortable conversation, and hopefully it'll bring you guys together stronger like we feel it has us.
Yes.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.